What is up? This is your LA in a minute, and I'm here in Studio City at fire station number 78, which is one of 106 stations in the LA Fire Department. And did you know that the LAFD actually started out over 150 years ago as an all-volunteer force? It's come a long way in the last century and a half, and I want to talk about the Los Angeles Fire Department. Let's get into it. With nearly 4,000 firefighters, the LA Fire Department is the third largest municipal fire department in the United States. It's responsible for 471 square miles and approximately 4 million people. It's unofficially referred to as the LA City Fire Department or LA City Fire to distinguish it from the LA County Fire Department, which provides coverage for the unincorporated areas of Los Angeles as well as 59 contract cities. They've come a long way from frontier Los Angeles, where there was no fire department for the first 19 years. And if there was a fire, somebody would fire their pistol in the air repeatedly as an alarm, and volunteers from the community would use 3-gallon leather buckets to extinguish fires. Finally, by 1869, an informal volunteer organization started fighting fires. But in 1871, the volunteer fire department was organized by George M. Fall, the county clerk of Los Angeles County. The equipment for fighting fires was still very limited as the budgets were small or non-existent. Upset with the lack of budgeting, the fire department disbanded in 1874 because the city council just wouldn't approve any more funding for fighting fires. Finally, in 1875, the city council voted to appropriate funds, and many former members of Engine Company Number 1 reorganized under the name the 38s, and they had their first hook and ladder truck. It was about that time that the first engine house, which was adjacent to City Hall on Spring Street, was erected for $665, and it stayed in service until 1884. As the city kept growing, the need for firefighters increased, and more volunteer fire companies began springing up throughout the city. In 1886, the city decided to pay firefighters, and the formal Los Angeles Fire Department was born. There was the first city-owned fire station, number 1, which today is still in existence as supply and maintenance. By 1900, the fire department had grown to 18 fire stations with 123 full-time paid firefighters and 80 fire horses. The department installed 194 fire boxes to allow civilians to ring an alarm if they did see a fire, in addition to 660 fire hydrants throughout Los Angeles. At its peak in 1912, the city had 163 fire horses shown in action on their way to a fire right here. But the horses were gradually phased out, and by 1921, they were completely replaced by fire cars and, of course, a fire truck. In 1924, Mountain Patrol was created to improve fire safety in the hillside communities of the city. But due to trouble getting water up there, the firefighters would sometimes have to beat out fires with burlap bags. Wow. The Mountain Patrol function has since evolved into what's called a brush clearance unit. 1955, Station 78 in Studio City became the first racially integrated fire department station in the entire city. And today, the LA Fire Department features 110 women, one of whom is the first female chief of the LAFD, Kristen Crowley. So the LAFD has come a long way in a century and a half, from an all-volunteer firefighter force to nearly 4,000 firefighters in the 106 stations, and it's one of the most trusted and important institutions in all of Los Angeles. Thank you to station number 78 here in Studio City for showing me LAFD. All right, LA, it's been a minute.